Wait, it's got his birthday marked as being next Sunday. Does that mean that's when he's gonna die? Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hethwin and we are back to play some more of our short lifespan legacy in which every generation is a different game pack or expansion pack in The Sims 4. We are currently on the second generation, which is the very first game pack that came out for The Sims 4, and that is Outdoor Retreat. In our last episode, our second gen heir, Basil, took his first solo camping trip to Granite Falls, and he collected quite a few different types of insects and also found some more plants to develop his herbalism skill. Down below, you will find linked rules to the Sims 4 LEPacy challenge, which are the rules that we are following for this gameplay. However, because I'm playing on the short lifespan, I might not hit all of the goals, but really my whole point in playing this way is just to really explore some things in the game packs and stuff packs, especially the older ones, because I never really did that a whole lot when The Sims 4 came out. I kind of just played and I didn't explore all of the aspects of the packs. And so to celebrate 10 years of The Sims 4, we are exploring all of the packs. You'll also find linked below James Turner's guide for how to disable packs, which is how I am able to play with just base game and Outdoor Retreat. If we come over into our game, it is Sunday afternoon, and as I mentioned, Basil just got back from his camping trip, and he has some stuff that we can get planted. He's got his little garden over here with the different things that he can grow for his herbalism skill. So we were able to find some huckleberries and I think just huckleberries. Oh no, huckleberries and muckleberries, as well as poison fireleaf, and this is an unidentified flower, which I think is regular fireleaf, and then we have an unidentified mushroom. So I think I want to have him plant the things that he can plant, so he can use these things for his herbalism skill. So we will let him get those planted, and then he also needs to weed his garden because it looks like nobody really took care of it while he was camping. Basil is still a teenager, but he and his twin Blossom will be celebrating their birthdays on Tuesday, and he will age up into a young adult, and that means that he will also set out on his own for his life. His younger brother Birch has a birthday today, and he will age up into a teenager, as well as their father Gavin, who is currently at work. He will be an elder. And while Basil was on vacation, Gavin actually got a promotion, so he is now level 7 in the author career. He wants to be a best-selling author, do all of that. Our founding sim, Aster, died shortly after Birch was born, which wasn't the most ideal thing to have happened, but it happened. I think once Gavin gets home, then we will age them up. I wonder, do we have a cake? No. So what if we have Blossom come and bake a cake and get a cake ready? Let's do a chocolate cake. So Basil has to end up with or have a child with somebody that he meets while camping in Granite Falls. And while we were there, he met Christina Strong, and off camera I did give her a little bit of a makeover. She is a bookworm and she loves the outdoors, which those are some traits that I think actually would work really well for Basil. I think the bookworm part will kind of remind him of his parents, whereas he also loves the outdoors. So I think that that is something that they kind of connect and they bond over. So Basil has the outdoor enthusiast aspiration. He needs to complete that. He wants to cook 2 plates of beetles over a campfire. He's done that once, and he wants to eat 10 plants. So we'll have to have him eating some plants. Also, we're going to have him max the herbalism skill. He is currently level 5 of that. And he can brew like herbal concoctions and things like that. Do not take a piece of this cake, sir. How about you put birthday candles on it for your brother and father? He is gloomy and he loves the outdoors. And he's physically gifted because he did complete the rambunctious scamp aspiration as a child. And I'm trying to see if I can get Birch to finish off his, but I don't know that he's going to make it. Because he needs to draw 3 more types of pictures on the activity table. He might actually, if I can make him draw the correct pictures, he might be able to do it. What? I'm curious what happens if he eats some of the, if he eats the toxis? Like, what if he eats toxic chamomile? What happens to him? Oh, he got a tense moodlet. Agitate tea. Apparently, some kinds of chamomile aren't so calming. Okay. He still has a lot of, like, positive effects because he went hiking. So he still has some positive things from that. And he can now brew a sadness alleviation lotion because he got some of the bugs that he needed. But really, some of the hardest stuff is finding some of these bugs. Like, we haven't found termites and we haven't found walking sticks. But maybe we'll let him make some sadness alleviation potion that he can keep with him because he is gloomy, so he tends to get sad. So that might be worth having some more with him. Plus, it'll help him level up his herbalism skill. And we need that to be a little bit higher before we can identify this unidentified mushroom and this unidentified fruit. Sure. You can like cooking, Basil. That's not a bad one to like. Oh no, and then the stove broke. All right, fix the stove. Blossom, who is his twin, wants to have a big family. She has the big happy family aspiration. She is a music lover. She is a genius. She is mentally gifted. So that's what she wants. Whereas Birch is a little bit more creative. They've all had very unique traits. What has he drawn? Okay, he's drawn an animal, and he's drawn people, and he's drawn shapes. Okay, so why don't you come draw a monster? Yeah, like, Basil is more inclined to, like, outdoors and, like, physical activity, whereas Blossom is a little bit more logical and into, like, the thinking kind of stuff. And then Birch is a lot more on the creative side. And so they really all have had very unique personalities and traits that have defined them. All right, Gavin is home from work. And oh, he's back to this again. Why is this what you're wearing? I think since Birch needs to draw one more type of picture and he's almost there on his creativity skill, we'll let him finish that before aging him up. But Gavin is ready to age up. So let's go ahead and age up Gavin. We'll have him come and blow out his candles. All right, Gavin has aged up. Seniority, wrinkled bellies, frosted locks, and interminable naps await. Party like the Reaper's not right around the corner. All right, Gavin is now an elder. So he is kind of coming to the end of his life, and as it being its short lifespan, it could be really short. Tuesday is Basil and Blossom's. Wait, it's got his birthday marked as being next Sunday. Does that mean that's when he's gonna die? That's a little morbid, Sims, that you're showing us their death date? Like, that's new. Okay, Birch has maxed his creativity skill, so as soon as he is done with this drawing, we'll have him blow out his candles and he will age up into a teenager. Okay, he's completed that aspiration. So now let's have Birch come blow out his candles and we will get him as a teenager. All right, Birch has now aged up and we are going to use a random number generator to determine what his aspiration is going to be. So we're going to generate between 1 and 10 because that's how many categories there are. And we got a 1, which is athletic. You know what? We're not going to. We're going to let him have a creative aspiration. Since he's been a creative kid and it doesn't really matter, we're going to let him be a painter extraordinaire. We will randomize this trait though. 1, 2, 3. He is a genius, which is still fits with the artist stuff because plenty of artists are geniuses. He has aged up and we're going to need to pop into Cass and give him a makeover. I don't know if Gavin needs a makeover. We'll have to look at Gavin too. Right, so I have given Birch and Gavin a little bit of a makeover. I haven't done a ton to Gavin. I just gave his beard and his eyebrows like more of a gray look to him, and I added a little bit more with wrinkles for his overlay, but I kept his outfits pretty much the same. I mean, he really wasn't necessarily the most like young dressed of an adult, so I thought he was fine how he is. And then this is Birch and his makeover. I actually see a lot of Gavin in him. Like, I think they have a lot of similar features, but I think he has more of what Aster's facial shape was. Like, his face is a little bit more round, but a lot of his features remind me a lot of Gavin. He's a good blend of both of them, to be honest with you. But this is Birch. I tried to give him something that kind of like maybe fit a little bit with more of like the artistic vibe for him. So this is his everyday, his formal, his athletic, his sleepwear, his party wear, his swimwear, and then his hot weather and cold weather that we really won't see because, again, no seasons. And then now Basil and Blossom will age up on Tuesday in game. So they've got a couple of days before they will age up. And here is Aster's ghost. Once again, here haunting the place and breaking things. This seems to be a daily occurrence for Aster. She shows up, she breaks stuff. She doesn't fix it, she just breaks it. Right, Basil is up. He has tended to his little garden of things. He has eaten a plant for his aspiration. He did do some more with his herbalism skill. What if we have him brew another herbal remedy right now? What if he makes a soothing skin balm and maybe he can give that to Blossom as like an early birthday gift, like this might be good for you when you have dry skin. All right, we're gonna see if Basil can identify this fruit. Oh, it is a huckleberry. Okay, so he has successfully now identified the huckleberry, which means we can plant that. We already identified the huckleberry. Okay, so I'm confused, but all right. He hasn't planted a muckleberry. Plant the muckleberry, and then it's this one that we haven't been able to identify. So we can try and identify this, maybe. He might end up going to school first, but we'll try. His herbalism is really close to being level 6, so maybe that will mean he'll be able to identify this one. Okay, he's trying to see if he can figure out what this is. He's now reached level 6 of the herbalism skill, and he knows that this appears to be fire leaf, so we can plant some of that. So he's now level 6 of his herbalism skill. Gavin is awake now. He will, oh, he doesn't have to work for a few days, so he can do a bunch of writing. I don't know that he will complete his aspiration or max his career because we're really focusing on him so much, but we're trying to get him as close as we can. All right, the kids are home from school. Gavin has been working on writing like all day long. Basil looks like he's had a pretty good day of school. We'll let him take a shower. Although Blossom is embarrassed. She had an awful school day. She dropped a tray in front of everyone in the cafeteria today. How embarrassing. So she's feeling a little bit embarrassed. And Birch is feeling focused because he is a genius. We probably, you know what, let's go ahead and get him an easel. We can replace some of this stuff. Maybe we'll give Birch a few things that are a little bit more suited to him being a teenager. Like, we'll delete these toys and let's see if we can find him a better bed. And we'll get him an easel. All right, we got Birch a bigger bed and an easel so that he can work on his painting. Oh, Gavin has now reached level 8 of the writing skill, so that's really good for him. What if we have Basil come and make some food? What if we have him make some mac and cheese for everybody? Oh, he needs to plant some fire leaf as well because we didn't plant that. We've got some more concoctions brewing on the stove for Basil. He's continuing to work on that herbalism skill and brewing some herbal remedies. I think I'm gonna go ahead as well and get the final tier of the herbalism book for Basil because he can take that with him, I think, when he moves out to get started on his own. Right, he is feeling gloomy, so I kind of want to try the sadness alleviation lotion and see if that makes his gloominess go away. I've never really used the herbal remedies before, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So I want him to use that and see if that lotion does something. All right, so he's putting it on. Oh, it did make the gloomy go away. Okay, so that looks like a useful one for him. He can also make a fire leaf extract, except that he needs 2 morel mushrooms and a fire ant, which he doesn't have any of those. So our next trip to Granite Falls is going to be finding the last mushroom. So we've got one of the mushrooms. Oh, we haven't attempted to identify this. Now that we're level 6 of the herbalism skill, why don't we have him attempt to identify this mushroom and see if we can figure out what that is? Okay, he still doesn't know. So there's going to be another mushroom version, but we haven't found that one yet. So hopefully when we go to Granite Falls next, we can find that and we can really be hunting for insects. Finding the insects and completing the insects collection is another option for this generation's goals, but there is like a lot of insects to find. There's 19 and we've only found 8. So it could take a lot of trips to Granite Falls. We're going to keep looking. We're going to try for it. But really it's going to be mainly focused on completing this aspiration and maxing that herbalism skill. Because I have never done either of those things. Well, I haven't completed the insect collection either. But I'm concerned that with it being short lifespan, it'll be a lot harder to complete that. And while he does have like a good sized garden going right now, he has plenty of the crops and the ingredients that when he does move out, he will have to start his garden all over again. But because we don't have seasons, none of these plants are seasonal, so they'll just grow. It won't matter what season it is, which will make it that much easier for him to reestablish his little garden once he is on his own and out of Gavin's house. It is Tuesday morning and all 3 kids are up and awake. And today is going to be Blossom and Basil's birthday, and they will be aging up into young adults after they get home from school. And we never really had Christina come over, so maybe before they celebrate their birthday, maybe Basil can invite her over and talk to her a little bit more and get to know her a little bit. Maybe we'll have him send her a text right now, like he's gonna send her like a good morning text and be like, hi, good morning. I just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking of you, you know, that sort of thing. All right, the kids are all heading off to school. This will be Basil and Blossom's last day of school before they age up. Gavin is once again gonna be home working on his writing. Bathroom cache. While taking a quick break, Basil spies some money just sitting on a sink in the bathroom. Should he slide it in his locker for safekeeping or just turn it in to the principal right away? I honestly think that Basil would turn it in right away. He's kind of an honest sim, and I really don't see him like saving it and pocketing it. Like that's not really his vibe at all. So we're going to say he's going to turn it in. The principal acknowledges the courage it took to bring the money to him. He then launches into a 20-minute speech about honesty and integrity that Basil tunes out halfway through. But the principal does insist that Basil's teacher give him extra credit for good citizenship, so he got a performance gain. Although Basil doesn't really care as much about school as like say Blossom does. I think he always kind of felt a little bit overshadowed by her and how smart she was. He enjoyed being outside and playing outdoors, and she was much more of the studious one. So he's really honest and straightforward, but I don't really care about his grades all that much. Gavin is starting to get some nice royalties brought in from his book selling. So that's a positive thing for him, especially because we're going to need some funds to send with Basil, so he's not starting with nothing like Aster did. I want him to start with a little bit more. He does have like a tent and stuff, so he would be fine, and he's fine living in a tent. But I'd like him to, you know, maybe be a little bit better off. But maybe not. Maybe he just doesn't care. He might not care. Actually, take that out because I think I am going to start him with just like a tent because it does kind of fit his character. All right, the kids are home from school. I think I do want to have Basil invite over Christina. But we can't invite her over. Is it because she's in Granite Falls? What if we summon her using MC cheats? Okay, we had to summon her. I think because we met her in Granite Falls, so she's like technically a sim from another world. But she's here. Oh, she's sad about something. Why is she sad? Okay, Gavin, go away. He wants to talk to this girl. Go write something. Let him interact with Christina. She is sad, so he's gonna try to cheer her up. He's not sure why she said. Maybe she had a rough day at school too. He's like, I'm sorry that you're feeling so badly. I hope that things get better. And she's like, I'm already feeling better just like being here and hanging out with you. They've become friends. They really have been like fast friends. Let's ask her about her hobbies and skills. Let's see what she's into. We know that she's a bookworm. We know that she loves the outdoors, but I wonder what things she likes. Oh, she doesn't like fitness. Okay. So they have become friends and are good friends. I want to have him try to flirt a little bit. Now, he is a little bit awkward, so we're going to let him start by complimenting her appearance. You know, they both really love the outdoors and love camping. So I think he would definitely compliment her style and the way that she looks. And maybe he would do a little bit of a flirt and see how that goes. She was positive about the compliment. She liked that. She's feeling happy now. He's kind of taken away the sadness that was like there with her. She's getting a little bit more animated in their conversations as well. And they now have a little bit of a romance bar starting. So we do know that Basil is going to be aging up. I wonder when Christina is going to age up. She's also very close to aging up, so that's perfect. They are now officially good friends as well as being a little flirty with each other. They are a romantic interest. And they really have both liked each other quite a bit. It's been a really good connection. He's now feeling flirty. Oh, and she's coming in and reading like a romance novel. Oh my goodness. I think though it is time to age up Basil and Blossom into young adults. So since Basil is the older one, we will have him come blow out his candles first, and then Blossom will be next. So we are giving him his outdoor enthusiast trait back. So he's got that back, and then we're going to randomize 3 times and see what we get. If it doesn't really fit with Basil's like story and his arc, we'll change it. But I just want to randomize, see what we get for him, and then if that really seems contradictory, then we'll find something else. So 1, 2, 3. I don't think he would be childish. You know what? Let's make him active. Because he was so active as a child and he really does like the outdoors and hiking and things like that, I think making him active probably makes the most sense for him. So we're going to do that, and these are going to be Basil's traits. And then we are going to age up Blossom, his twin, and she will become a young adult. And so again, we'll randomize her traits. We're not playing her, so I'm not going to worry as much about hers unless she gets H's children because she's got the big happy family. That doesn't really work. So let's randomize this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she's evil. Okay, so Blossom has turned out a little bit evil. All right, that's a twist I was not expecting, but so be it. Now that they are young adults, we will be moving Basil out so that he can start on his own. But I think we'll give him just a real quick little updated look in Cass before we send him out on his own. All right, so I didn't really end up doing a whole lot to Basil. Really, I just gave him some more detail around his eyes. I thought about giving him some facial hair, but honestly, it just really didn't suit him at all. So I left out the facial hair, and we're just gonna leave him pretty much how he is. I think he's kind of exactly right, and then maybe as he ages and stuff we can add some more lines to his face and stuff. But the facial hair didn't suit him. He just looked weird. He kind of has like a babyish face, and so I think that really threw it all off, and just the facial hair did not look right. So we didn't put facial hair on Basil. He's still pretty much looking the same as he has been. He is super cute. I'm really looking forward to seeing how things go with him as a young adult as he gets going in his own camping and things like that. But I think for that, we're going to wrap this episode up here. Next time, he'll get moved out and started on his own. And let me know in the comments below where you think he should live. We're only playing with base game and outdoor retreat. So the only options are Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and Newcrest. We could potentially move him to Newcrest and start building up Newcrest. There isn't anything there right now. So Newcrest is a thought. I'd like to move out of Willow Creek, but I also don't know that Oasis Springs is really the right place for Basil to live. So I'm leaning towards Newcrest, but I would love to know what your thoughts are on where Basil needs to move to. Also, let me know your thoughts on Christina Strong as being his potential partner. They've hit it off really well. He is going to go camping again right off the bat, so maybe we'll meet somebody else that he likes even better. But I would love to hear your thoughts on her as well. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!